think we are connected now.
Yep, we are live.
All right. Interesting time. Welcome to our New Gambia Civic Education Platform. Today, we're going to be discussing about the analysis of the election 2021. Decision 2021. The Gambia decides. So we're going to make this like an open discussion. We're going to go around, take any questions or analyze from any angle, how the trend is going, who's going to win, why is the trend going the way it is, what are the factors, what is the way forward. We're going to look at everything within this hour to try to analyze, how we get to this position and what is the way forward for Gambia. So our panelists are here. We have Jaga Juve here at Denmark. Jaga, just show hands.
Yeah, I am here. Sorry about that.
Right. We have Alas.
Good evening, guys. Nice to be here again.
Thank you. Alas, Denmark.
Alas, Germany.
Germany and Denmark, close by.
And then we have tired from the election now.
Trust me, I didn't have much sleep. This election thing really. And then we have Sam Cisse, Indiana, and myself, New York. So, guys, we have the floor. What do you guys think? Man, I'm sweating right now. This is breathtaking. What do you guys think results so far?
Yeah, I mean, take it easy because it's already gone, I think. It already happened. So you should no more sweat here. Let Jaga begin. Or Sam. Sam, what do you think about the whole election?
Well, for me, I would say until the final announcement comes from IEC that declares the winner, I will be standing on the fence line to wait for that result, because in any game, the referee has to blow the final whistle and say what the results are. That's when you believe in the results. That's when you take the results and go with it. And whether you favor it or not, or it favors you or not, whether you like it or not, that becomes the final result. So I'm waiting for IEC to blow that final whistle and say, here is the result, and so is the winner. When that happens, then we can take a look back, and see what happened, how did they win, and how did the losers lost, and things like that, and analyze those and see what can we advise for the losers, what should they change? Because if you play a game and you go into anything, and you continue to go into a game and cannot win in a game, you've got to change something. So what are those things that need to change? Those are things that we can analyze and talk about them. However, what I can talk about now, to make this short and simple, is why is it taking this long? Why is IEC not out to announce this yet? And also IEC, whether we have a new government or the current government, the IEC process need to change. They really need to change. We need to look at that, and they need to look at themselves and see what are they doing right and continue to push for that, and what is holding them behind, and what are they doing wrong, and really change those so that this election process in the Gambia can be much smoother, efficient, and accurate. Very important, because they are the referees for this, and the whole world is watching them. And if the whole world is watching you, you better be correct. You better be efficient. You better be accurate. You better be very honest with the results, and not allow any tampering, and not allow any influence of anybody whosoever, the incumbent or any political party, regardless of your affiliation with them or relationship with them. It shouldn't matter. A game is a game. Election is election. It needs to, this is people's vote. People went out and used their fundamental and constitutional right to exercise their right to vote. And they want to choose someone that is good for them. They want to choose someone that they think is going to be able to move this country forward. So there's no joke in this, and there's nothing unserious about this. This is all serious game. Is the future of our country, and we all need to look at ourselves. We all need to look. Every Gambian need to look at this as okay, reality, without thinking of any personal reasons. In reality, who is good for Gambia? That is the person we need to vote for, because we're not thinking about today. We're thinking about the next 5 years. Who's going to run the country the next 5 years and then beyond? This is what needs to be in everybody's mindset. When it's time to vote, vote for the person that is going to make that difference, the person that's going to move this country forward, not the person that's going to favor your job or your family or so, or because you have a relative in the government or you have a relative so-and-so place. When they take over, they will give your relative something. It's not about people. It's about Gambia. We all need to ask ourselves, what can we do for our country? And one way for citizens to do that is to exercise their right by voting for the right person that is going to move Gambia forward. And that is what I support. So I don't know why it's taking so long for IEC to come out and get all of these tallies, because in my mind, you have polling agents. And one advice here before these results come out, we have polling agents in every polling station. If all polling agents record what was tallied for every candidate, this is simple. IEC cannot announce anything outside of that, because it was counted, since it's an on-the-spot counting. If it was counted on the spot and all polling agents record what was counted for each particular candidate, well, guess what? That is the result that they're sending to IEC. They all signed off on that. So IEC better announce that same result. Another thing for IEC, we know how many people were registered. IEC made an announcement back after registrations were complete. We heard that on radio stations. We all heard those. Those records are there. They've already stated how many people registered to vote in every constituency, right? So in the whole country, we know that. The number of votes cannot supersede that, cannot surpass that. You cannot register, just an example, you cannot register, you cannot have 750,000 registered voters. But at the end of the day, when they cast those votes and you count the number of votes that you have goes to 850,000 or 900,000. That is not possible. That means you, the IEC, will have the fault, and the whole world is watching this. They're going to know that automatically you just made yourself a big shame, because that's not possible. You cannot have a 750,000 people or registered voters, and then you announce more than that. That's not possible. Everyone will know that the problem is yours. So the results you announce may not be real results, and people are going to have doubts, and that's going to bring something else to our country. So I'll stop here for now.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah, thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Jaga, you want to jump in and then Alice?
Yeah, of
No,
course.
Alas.
So, okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we all get surprised on the. It was very interesting, but what I just try to observe is the youths and then the women, especially. They are very, very, very active in this election. I was even surprised, this participation, these high numbers, almost 80% went to vote, which they never did before, and the biggest percentage are the youths. That is showing you that the youths, they need changes, and the women too. I hope that whether Barrow or which seems to be Barrow now with the numbers, we take that seriously, because I think if he wins, then maybe it's from these numbers, because they participated very, very, very good, and then to make sure that he takes their problem also seriously, not to disappoint. them. I said it here before that I always feel sorrow for them. You know, they run in every corner with them, and you know, some don't even eat, and at the end, nobody think of them. I hope that Barrow can be happy that the youth, the women also voted him, I would say, because of these numbers, and they are the biggest participants to take their problems seriously, the youth and the women in the Gambia. So again, my observation is we have here another kind of politics this year, showing that the incumbent puts a lot of money where the people need it also, you know, and it's the right timing because when the country is hard and everything, you come out and make such a politic that everybody will give you a hand. It's normal. And then the opposition were having that problem too, that they couldn't also invest like Barrow, because he's having the keys and having the suitcase in his hand. It's not the fair thing in Africa, but that's the way, you know. And to ask where he gets money, many business people are always a friend of the government, you know, for their own advantages. And these people, they don't want to miss what they already started. They will also try to invest their money in the politics to support the candidate who is ruling. So that is also another big advantage to the opposition. You know, many of them have good ideas and so, but when they come to Gambians and give them their agenda and everything, the next thing, Gambia is hard. The next thing is, so what are you going to give me? So if you say I don't have money, then they forget about the problem and the topic. You know. So these are the disadvantages. So they go to where they can get money. You know, without knowing that it will take another 4 or 5 years. Doesn't matter which condition they are. So and people don't know that. You know? People always try to solve acute problems, we call it acute problems. You know? But for the long term, no plan. And that is also very, very interesting in our society. Anyway, that's where I see a big disadvantage to the opposition. And for UDP, my observation is UDP is very strong, but most of the people are from the diaspora. You understand what I mean? And you will not realize their strongness on the ground. That's the problem too, because the diasporans are not allowed to vote. Had it been that they were allowed to vote, maybe I'm sure that we'll come with other results. You understand? Doesn't mean that the diaspora is a party for itself, but you will see that the diasporans will vote for like UDP. UDP is very strong, but they are all from diaspora. You know, they are the biggest party, but it doesn't help because on the ground are the people voting. You understand? Some even left the diaspora and went on the ground to make campaign and all those things, but I don't know whether they can still vote there themselves because they are not having the Gambian voters card. You understand? So that doesn't help. That is a barrier somewhere. You know, they can help with campaign and all, but they cannot change anything there. So that is also a big disadvantage, and many people were also surprised about the results. But that is like when somebody just give you handcuffs, you cannot do anything. So I hope the next election that they open the door. I hope that they'll have the time to organize everything so that the diasporans can also vote. You know, and I think it's a big disadvantage now to the diaspora. So we can only look on TV and try to shout and nobody will hear what we're saying because we are behind the fence, you know. Anyway, that's my observation, and many are disappointed also from the crowd, you know, because many from the opposition or parties They were going according to their crowds, but you can see that in certain places, the results happen to be different. That's why I believed what they were saying, but the same crowd follow also Hussein Udao. They just use another t-shirt. So that's it. Why are Gambians doing that? Because it's hard. And they always want to go where it is simple, where they get money. So the problem of tomorrow was not here a topic. You understand? Which is very dangerous. So what I just wanted to say, for Mr. Barrow, if he should win this time, I mean, he has a lot of supporters. Some people even left their parties and endorsed him. So the next problem is, how is he going to entertain these people within his 5 years? Whether he's having enough cost for these people. That is where the hardship is going to come, what he should face in any case, because these people went to him because of greener pasture. You know what I mean? So now there will be the problem. Whom am I going to give this and whom am I going to give that? Whether there will be no tension. That is what I fear. That somebody will say it's not fair. I'm here before Mr. Sawane. Why is Sawane having this and I not? Because you have, if you just look at it, from my observation, there is a lot of fraction there. You have the APRC fraction there. You have the Sidinyais. You have the diasporans fraction is even there. Everything also. You know, you have the advisors, the Dusanos, Unco, you know, and then you have the other parties who endorsed him within this election, you know, and the how to call it, what is this word again? Yeah, anyway, there are a lot of fractions, and all these people are hoping, and they fought more or less so that Barrow can go. So now, when he's there, he has to entertain all these groups. You know, you have the other small parties like from Gomez and all these. These are all people with interest also. So I hope that he will go with it and try to satisfy all of them, and that's where the hardship will come then, to entertain all these groups or to maintain it. I would say, because we don't have a lot of places. You have only one ministerial post. For example, you cannot make it 20 or 10, but you have 20 people maybe waiting for that. So, and you want to be fair with them because you promised something. So, but in any case, let him help the youths because they showed here that they are very interested, you know, and they have problems. The youths and the women, because they saw it in this election. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. You can come, Mr. Sawane.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Alas. Brilliant analysis. And Sam. Njaga, what do you think about this election? What are your thoughts? I mean, this is...
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Alas. Yeah. Yeah. What where I'm gonna start is like we are in a very important moment when it comes to our democracy and when it comes to our rule of law and our human rights, and that is voting elections. It is what defined exactly how strong is our democracy. So everything that we do in it should be very, very clear, very fair, and very honest. Something that that should be very done in a very honest way and very truthful and very transparent. So first of all, when it comes to credit where it is due, like I've said it last night, that how the elections unfolded in peace, we have to give credit to the government for that, even though it's their duty to do so. But like in Africa and in our society, it's not easy to hold a peaceful election because there will always be problems, there will always be personal problems, there will always be riots and chaos and things like that. So it is very important that when it comes to these kinds of moments in our country, we hold the peace and security of our nation. And credit to them for that, and now to all our security personnel and also to the people of the Gambia for knowing and realizing that we are all one. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all together. These politicians, after they will go and hug and sit and eat and drink together. So we always will know that we expect to do the same after when the election has passed. We all have our reasons to be decided on anybody, you understand, to vote for anybody. That is our constitutional and our civic rights. You understand? But we do it in the most peaceful and civilized way that everybody has a right to have an opinion or to have a say on anything concerning the country. And also he or she has the right to go and vote for anybody he wants to vote for. So that's not a crime. The other thing is when it comes to about the transparency and about the free and fair. If I told that like there are some Gambians, let's say 10% or 10% of Gambians who are outside, who are not in the country, and they are not given the right or the facilities or the or access to vote, then there we cannot call it something like transparent and fair. Because there are some people who were not given the right and who were not given all the necessary tools to vote, and we have the right to vote. You understand, because of 10%, when you talk about 10-15% of Gambians out, what we contribute in our country, I think that if anybody has a say in that country, we do have a say too. If anybody has a right to vote, we do have a right to vote. So that's on IEC, and also that's on the government, the president, the current president. And taking from his quote about what he said about the diaspora, us living here is an insult. But we will not take it. We will not. It is not necessary to see it as something serious, because we know the kind of a person who he is already. You understand? He can just wake up and say whatever he wants to say, or do whatever he wants to do at the end. And trust me, I know that when he sleeps, when he wakes up the other day and you ask him what he said, he will not even remember. So he's that kind of person. So it's not something that you can beat your child over his words or something like that. But okay, those kind of, and it is not the first time. So those kind of things that that's why Gambians also, we have to understand exactly how we select our leaders and who we vote for. You understand, it's not just about, who stands there, who has the money or who has the cars or who has the access to come to you or something like that. But, in general, you have to look at the person in general. It is very, very important. You understand, human wise, has a psychological state. You understand, how he was, his career, his life, and all those things. It's very, very important when it comes to selecting someone to lead your country. You understand, because you are putting everything in his or her hands. You understand, your life, your destiny, your money, your everything, your security and everything. So that person should be matured. You understand, that person should be intelligent, that person should be brave. You understand, that person should be strong to take in criticism. Criticism. You understand, and stuffs like that. That person, should be able to handle problems, situations, things like that. You understand, that person also should be good in trying to develop its people, its nation, its country. You understand, trying to prioritize exactly what people need. You understand, what he can put in the Gambia to be proud about or something like that. So those are the things that our people needs to see into leaders, of who we select as leaders. So if we don't do that, we will just go around the clock like it was 20 years ago. It's just about who can be out there. The problem is, like, Gambia, we are not good in changing. We can change. The reason why we changed, there was circumstances for that. It started as a riot, as a demonstration, because of Lawyer Dabo was locked up. You understand? That's how it started. So it started from one step to another. Then people are saying that we can voice our things, we can fight for our rights, we can fight for our democracy, we have right to fight without anything happening. That's how it started until we end to that. We ended in that era in that time with Yaya Jammeh. But Gambians are not good for change, because of the problem is maybe we do not know how to make a change. So that's the problem. So when it comes to, that's why I have no surprise when it comes to Adam Barrow winning, even if it is a light slide victory. I was never surprised. I will never be surprised because of it was coming. We saw it coming at the beginning when he went and sided with APRC, and then when those candidates were rejected, that's why I find it funny. How can you be there, voicing change, trying to say that Adam Barrow and his administration, they are not doing something right, something is wrong somewhere, people are suffering, blah, blah, blah. At the end, we are rejected and you went and endorsed him. So what was your plan? What do you believe in? So that's the problem. What exactly do you believe in? You understand? So all those things are problems that, we, the Gambian people, it's not them. The politicians are just there trying to use our minds and capitalize on us and use us. So if they can do that easily, they're going to continue doing it. They don't care about what we say or not. So the problem is we, the Gambian people, we are the ones who care about this kind of things so that we can make a change ourselves. Change starts from us, not them.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah,
Wow.
you are right. I just wanted to say something about that.
Okay. I'll say something before I come in.
What Jaga was saying is right, that we can change and so, but we all know that. But the problem we have, people should be informed first, and then the politicians should also look at situation and say, okay, because they should have been a big competitor when because all of them saw that Barrow is going, holding everything for himself, that they should have reacted by saying, okay, I alone, I cannot make it. Let me go and give someone a hand. You understand? But it's just like you see the bullet coming. And you still stand there.
And you stood there.
And wait, that's how I see it. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
That's why the opposition, some part, they disappoint also the people, because many people didn't want it to go Barrow. They wanted to be real to their parties. But when it comes to a situation where you know that you cannot make it alone, you should not be proud of it. Everybody knows that you are good and you have the best ideas and everything. But it's not the solution at the moment. So it was very wise, so to take that idea and go and make coalition also, as Barrow is also building his team. There is nothing, because what is this situation we're having? Then you'll be opposition for the next 10 years. So why don't you just take a week, you sit together and pump, so that maybe you make the change, and then every group will also try to profit from their campaign and their agenda and things like that. But when everybody is standing there fighting on its own, that is weak. They used to say, together we are strong, divided we are dust. So I think from here, our opposition leaders will also learn for the next, because these are all, life is just about learning. Learn from mistake and then go. Because when you just go and make your campaign, you see crowd, the stadium full. With Gambia, you have to be careful because not all of them are voting for you. Maybe they are all from Barrow. They just put on another T-shirt just to come and enjoy. And this is common, because if you see from the results and the crowds, you would say something happened. Because people were doing that. We got the information. Now some are having even 5 T-shirts. If SFL comes out, they will put that on. NPP, they put the white one. UDP, they put the red. So for the politicians and the opposition, I used to say that even before the election, they should not be fooled and go by crowd, because that's dangerous. When the people, you see the crowd and say, oh, okay, and half of them are not voting, are not having voters cards. Half of them are not for you. They just wear your T-shirt because they were by Barrow also. They are just moving around. So there is no real statistics to see my crowd and so. So again, I wanted to say, to help Sam. Sam, you said here something about the numbers from the IEC. Yeah, Sam. That's why you when they say something, they come again and tell you how many invalid votes.
Yeah.
Because these people are seen, they are filtered, they are seen already. That's why they say that, because it's not normal when you say 10 and you have 12 people there, then there's something wrong. So these two are invalid votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to clear that. But as
Yeah.
far as I see everything, I think everything is all right, even for the losers. We just have to accept it. And again, Yaga said here something very important, and praise also the peacefulness of the people, and so, and
Yeah.
I think we're going to the right direction. And at the end, we are all brothers and sisters. Doesn't matter which party you are. Politics should not divide us. We are
Yeah.
all one. And when we understand that and still can vote for a particular party, just like here, you go and vote and finish. Your wife can vote here, you vote there. There's no problem, because everybody is having his own. We're coming, it's time, but we're coming. And the youths are getting more and more informed. That's why I said Barrow will have now, when he should be the clear winner, which I think 80%, he should take the problems of the youths very seriously, and the women, because their vote gave him this win this time from the
Yeah.
percentage, from the participation. So
Okay.
when these people don't see anything within these 5 years, we should be very careful. These people
Right.
will be angry, and these people are not going to make a mistake again. So that is going to be dangerous for him. So it's better when he
Exactly.
takes care of the youth, take their problems very seriously, and the women, and talk with these AI companies and so what they want, and feed them. If not, I think he'll have the next election a problem with the youths, which is
Yeah.
going to be a very big disadvantage. So, Savannah,
Okay.
you can go.
All right. So before we go back again, I just wanna also contribute on this little bit. But I would do it in Mandinka for the benefit of our
Yeah,
listener,
carry
and then
on.
Alas can do it in Wolof or Jaga.
Yeah, carry on.
So mbadingolu election o fela kela nga ala tentu election o keda kaira kono abanta kaira kono saimbe result so le batun kan andu atata nyamin comme na diamula do ya fo nyamin handim iko nin tuwabul ka fo nyamin give credit where credit is due. Election la tanya follow nga mem moy follow because man sunyar ku moy follow man fem moy follow member tandi la ko ñine foul play, but at least information no kana nyami as long as about IEC bulu mol be wala belief la. So men be ka flow on numbers will men ka show on online mol be men discuss kan obe ma important wala IEC la resource nyeng. So be a surprise jere. We know that Barrow incumbency, he has the power of incumbency. But what we realize is that this election was never expected this way because the crowd dynamic. And I think if there's one thing to learn is that the crowd size is not that's what not that woman can winning it. It is about the groundwork. It's about the strategies. Because crowd size, even here in the US, Donald Trump usually have more crowd than Joe Biden, the last election. But when it comes to election day, Biden beat Trump a huge margin. So that shows to you that crowd size is not, because we usually have silent majority. I think Gambian people don't understand one thing. We have 962,000, 9,000, sorry, 962,000 registered voters. Out of those, if you combine all the people who come to these rallies, among all the parties, abuka 300,000 ning abukasi. So you factor the 600,000 min bis wokono. Imam finti wal bukata rally to. Wal la decision on ning mul malong. That's why it is called silent majority. Men kata you can travel from one party to another or travel with a party. It's just like half. So what a crowd cannot determine. That's why when you see Asafal come out, you see a crowd. When you see Mama Kande come out, you see a crowd. So what crowd in Menkana is the same active people in politics. That's why we see a huge surprise in the lead that Barrow is having now. Incumbency has control over resources. We have to be honest to each other. Incumbency has certain control over resources and money. So, what advantage there is more task forces and so forth. In order to defeat an incumbency, Senegal with Macky Sall and Akeda with Jaya Jammeh, you have to come and build a coalition. So, why is it that this politician, opposition, if they are seriously taking, if they want to take Barrow out and are not fighting for their individuals, why can't they come and rally together behind one person? But they face seriously, these people are not ready to take Barrow out. If they say that the country is going on the wrong direction, why not everybody shake hand, leave your differences? No, everybody cannot be a leader. By the way, leader from it's just that into more components led into leka facilitate by going to the polls. But alaka son mola son more think mola kola for a win election. Not on sunyar mankije. So then to believe the why can't we know that among our politicians, who is it that they can rally behind and that they pull out the country? Because we all know the mess that this government has done with the reform agenda, the level of corruption, okay? And also the security issue. We all know the weakness of this government. But the reason why is because the opposition party imang inanta menkele emake. And they are ijutusa lefana. Ijutusa barolale. You understand it? Because especially UDP, it came from them. You know, he was a little guy there, and they feel like they can defeat him single-handedly. But today, the way the margins are looking, it is not, you know, they are actually, you know, even convinced because the way Barrow is going, everybody is surprised with the numbers. So that shows to you that, you know, in life you cannot. And also somebody mentioned that Barrow coalition are men put together. You know, when you want to win, you have to go and get people. And you have to go and convince them. Either I convince man that he's going to do it or not, but at least he did convince all these 20 other parties, which I think is unethical. Also on those people's part, instead, those people should have gone to opposition. But again, it's the opposition's job to convince those people also. So those people have shot themselves in the foot by saying that because Goboro man capable. An opportunity. So, but at the same token, the opposition should grab them because they are all against one man. But again, if the oppositions also don't get their house together and not under one leadership, or it will be me, then that also failed. So Barrow took advantage of that. So we shouldn't be surprised again with what happened within the last month. After the Barrow started to turn things around after the nomination, around the nomination time. So this ended, finishing line. That's when most people started to decide. And the Ikaji Watola rallying, it also speaks volumes. So they have a sign thing. The water has already fallen in the ground. If you want to pick the water out, you want to fetch it, you're going to fetch it with the ground. So moving forward, I think what Gambians should do, how do we move from here? How do we move with this regime if Barrow is supposed to be declared? If Barrow is declared the winner, how do we deal with this man? Because we are at a very we are at a very critical situation, Simon. Reform agenda, so TRRC is on the dustbin. We need to bring that back. We need to make sure that Barrow sticks with 2 terms. We need to make sure that our security is tight. The freedom, we are comfortable with that, and Justice Department is doing great because we have seen that how the outcome of justice in this country has been transformed. And you have to give credit to Hassan Jallow. We in the public media, we will hold whoever wins accountable up to the core because we are not an interest group. Nobody can buy us. We are here for Gambia and putting Gambia first. So even if you give us position, whatever, you cannot buy us because what happened is Gambia worth more than what you can give us. So we who are impartial and here, we have to stay and hold this government accountable by speaking up, by identifying, continue the civic education engagement. Because really we have come far a little bit in terms of democracy, which I think too much democracy can also jeopardize us. But I think we need to fight corruption. Our system is too corrupt. And moving forward, we need to work with the government, new government, to make sure that that takes in place. But as far as how this whole happened, it's a surprise. But until Dr. Mulime understand is, election is always like that. You never know until you see the final result. And you cannot underrate and you cannot underestimate. You just have to go and make your game plan. These people are hungry and they made their game plan and they grab anyone. And that they also put tribal factor. Two things they put: insult, negative insult, and tribal. And I think it works for them. But we need to eradicate tribal politics in our system because we are all Gambians. We are all from the same, we married each other. If we want to use tribal politics, we'll never vote for the right person. And if that's what has contributed to this election, it is not a good sign. And I think all these parties should go and look into themselves. What is it that we have learned from this election? Because we are 25 parties coming on board, and all the others except the 6 will entitled to be nomination. And those 6 also, they are very solid, but look at the margin. Right now, the way it is looking, UDP is even the closest, but half of them, according to the numbers, it's not, they're not even getting half of what Barrow is getting. And these other ones are in single digits. So I think leadership changes in these parties also should be considered. They need to revamp and see, maybe if you are doing something, the same thing over and over, and there's no result, make a huge change. Falendiroke, nalbe fongo ke kan wado wado, albe system o ke kan, amatra tamakan, al falendiroke ale ajibeba. Maybe nale falendiroke alla patiolto, albe fenkela. But right now, ngamele Gambia no benenta wula menna wala ye borrow force, 2-term limit, constitutional in our back. We are okay. Justice is working fine. Security reform here restore, and we work together. And then trying to see what happened in the next election. That's the best thing. Silent majority has spoken. Again, we should not, Gambians should put away leadership issue. Not everybody can be a president. There are certain things, roles you can play in your country. It's not presidency that could make you great and your country great. So we have to factor this. This is a learning lesson for everyone. If Barrow continues to win this thing, and I hope country come together and rally behind the winner. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Anyone has anything to add to this?
Yep, I'll come in again. We'll go in the same circle, from Sawana to me to Alice to Njaga, and then we'll just keep going that way. That way we'll be in sync.
You let me know when I'm it's my turn.
When I finish, it'll be Alice's turn. So, but anyway, so you know, like I just want to reiterate something. Like I said earlier, I know some results have been announced. For me, until IEC comes out and declare the winner of the elections and say so-and-so is the winner of this whole election, just like I said earlier, you know, the referee blows the final whistle and says so-and-so is the winner, that's when I believe in everything. And so that's one. And the other part is, I just want to make clarification. What Alice was clarifying for me, that was actually not what I meant. You know, I knew about the invalid votes. What I'm saying is, if, for example, a total registered voters in a certain area, as an example now, is let's say 100,000 people registered in an area, okay? And out of that 100,000, certain votes were given to people. And then what I'm saying, the IEC need to be watching for and need to be careful of, and they should know this, is to make sure that they don't announce a total number of votes cast that was casted for that area more than the registered votes. I know about the invalid votes. I'm saying, if you have 100,000 people that registered, make sure that the people that voted and the total number of people that voted and the total number of invalid votes is not more than the registered vote. Does that make sense?
That's what you mean.
That's the part I'm trying to clarify here. So but moving forward, you know, it's critical, and I'm gonna say this, in every election, there is always going to be winners and losers. One person is going to win, and the rest are all going to lose. I am hoping that all the polling agents that represented their parties have their records, and I hope that if they were smart, and I think there are smart people in there, or I assume they're all smart people, as they did the simple, the on-the-spot counting, they would be signing off the numbers that were counted in their area polling station. If they did that, again, if they're smart, they will keep a record of that. Maybe take a picture of that sheet. All of them should take a picture of that and send it to their executive. They should all take a picture of everything that was counted on the spot, send it to their executives, their party executives, or the parties that they represent. So that at the end of the day, as IEC announces, all parties are looking at the numbers. Yes, my polling agent and all the polling agents at that particular location signed that I have, or our party got this number. And that's exactly what IEC announced. If they said party so-and-so got 100,000 votes, and IEC announced that they have 55,000 votes, there is a discrepancy, and that is not right. And those records will come into play if IEC announced the final winner, and these parties see that there has been discrepancies in what was recorded at the polling station versus what IEC counted or announced. They have the right to take it to the court. You see, after the winner is announced, these parties should be able to use those records and go to court and say, this is not fair. There are discrepancies in here. Because when, I'll give an example, because say, I'll use KMC as an example. KMC, for the records that I have, says 179,800 registered voters in KMC, if that is correct. Okay, just looking at number, you know, so if that is correct, for example, and out of the 179,800 has been spread between political parties, and all agents recorded what was counted on the spot and sent that out, then IEC announced something different. They should be able to use that as the evidence and go to court and say, here's what all polling agents signed off on the day of election on the spot, what was counted. So how come IEC comes up with this number? Where did they get their number from? They can take that to court and let the court decide there. But like I said earlier, I just want to say I am still waiting for that final result before I say much, and before I say what each party need to do to reshuffle, to reorganize and do all that. I think For me to talk about that now is premature because I don't have the final results. I want IEC to come out and say so-and-so is the winner. When I know so-and-so is the winner, then I can reflect back and look at the ones that the parties that lost the election and say, maybe here are options that you guys can do because you lost. But right now, I don't know who lost. So I want to stay focused on the final whistle from the referee, who is the IEC, to say who is the winner. Then I can give advice. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, but Sam,
Thank you, Sam.
Sam, thank you for that. You're gonna wait for a little while. The way things are looking, because already I'm pretty sure there's a rumors that the results are not true and so forth. And IEC came to a point they stopped at some point in the middle of the night because the rumors is that the numbers coming from Barrow's camp are exceeding what are the registered voters on those particular place.
Oh, okay.
So
that's what Sam mean.
That's what I meant.
What I meant. So what is gonna happen if those results are cooked? I think Barrow will be in a big mess. You cannot cook results more than what is not contributed. I don't care if you come less. If you come half, if they get half of the registered voters, I don't care. I can say people didn't come out to vote. But if you have even 100 or 200, I challenge that election. I challenge that particular place.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then we have to go to the polls again.
That's what Sam
if we
said.
find a consistency of cheating, we're going back to the polls again next month or next 2 months and vote, because we want our government to be a government of the will of the people and by the people.
Are you looking forward to
Yeah, I'm also just getting it in, but yeah, that maybe certain opposition will not accept it, as someone said, but we have the laws there. That's the beauty in it. We have laws, and that's why I used to say we should never ever tamper on our laws, because the law we have is what gives us peace. So even with election, if somebody feels that there is somewhere or something wrong, can also use that tool, that is the law, and try to say something, so that we still continue to live in peace and prosperity. So Njaga, you can come in, I think. You wanted to say something, or should I say something?
No. Yeah, I was trying to say like what you two of you are saying. Like, if I told that, okay, we find out that the numbers that they are giving, it is exceeding the numbers.
Yeah. That is because I didn't know really the point Sam was trying.
I know. No. I know that. I was just trying to tease someone. I'm asking, do you think that like we follow the rule of law, like taking things back to court and voting next month or stuff like that?
Well, if the election is rigged, we won. In this new Gambia, we'll go back to polls because people will not accept.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. When IEC disqualified some presidential candidates, some of them that thought that they had the right to do it, to be contesting in the elections.
They went on war.
They took it to court. And so, just for that, let alone a whole election that was rigged. If it was rigged and has some tampering or any type of rig, if that happened, I guarantee you, there are parties that will get up and go to court. And they will fight it in the court. And if the court, and because you don't go to court without evidence, they're going to go to court with evidence. The evidence they have is what was signed at the polling station with all the polling agents agreeing this is the number. Why didn't IEC announce that same number? They cannot have anything different.
I understand, Sam, what you mean, because I cannot say 10 and then have 30. That is then too much. That is maybe that has nothing to do with invalid vote.
It is every this responsibility. It is on every party representative on those voting spots. It is their responsibility to know everything that goes in and
Right,
out there. The record,
right,
everything they keep it in record, as Sam just
right.
said. So there's no repeating that. So I hope and I hope that this is a very good time to set an example and to move forward when it comes to our democracy. It's
Right,
an example.
but you know,
We have,
people should not be hasty, and we
no,
all
no,
know
you know,
all know that the nerves are blank. We used to
no,
say,
no, no. Right now,
and
right now,
yeah,
right now, as Sam said, we cannot say anything much because of right now, IEC haven't declared yet the winner. So there is nothing to say. Anything that we
right.
say right now, we are just assuming, or we are just like
Assuming
premeditating
taking it
or
from
premeditating.
there, that's yeah, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So the only thing we can expect that is when it happens, there will always be winners will be happy and losers will be angry, and they will always try to contest. That is normal in any game. There are winners and losers. The one will be happy, the one will not be. So for who is going to be the winner and who is going to win and which party next shake up, I think that will come later. Maybe it will be next Sunday after this thing has passed. So
Yeah.
the only thing. Yeah, so the only thing I can say is that, as I said, like the security, peace, and love, and how we Gambians are living together is very important. And
Right,
also, how we select leaders and who we want to put in office is very important. And what we need in them and what they need to show us to put them in that office is very important. You understand? Because of we are putting everything in their hands that concerns us our daily lives. So and concerning that for us also to fully understand exactly how politics works and how governance work, also we need to be educated. We need to be given that base. We need to be given that foundation. We need to be given that push. We need to be given that environment that we can work on and get educated to know exactly how governance is, how politics works, and how everything works. We need to be leaders from nursery level to primary level, then to secondary to high school level up to university level. We should try and build responsible people and responsible leaders who can lead our country in a very honest and in a way that like it will be in a patriotic way. Understand? Some people who will put the interests of our country first. You understand? Some people who will prioritize the needs of people in the country. People who will try to know exactly why people are going to get hungry. You understand? Why people are starving, why we are not having stable electricity, why we are not having enough road networks. You understand? Why the tax is high? Are people getting their tax returns? Things like that. You understand? When it comes to our economy, when it comes to unemployment, education. So these are the things that, like, no matter who you are as the incumbent president or the one who is going out or who is coming in, these are the things that needs attention, because of it has direct contact with our lives. So we need to improve more on this to make the country move forward. Infrastructure is good because of it is good in three ways. Like, it creates employment if at all that it is done through the right channel. You understand? It creates employment. You understand? And at the same time, also infrastructure also can bring investment. It makes people have courage to invest and understand. And infrastructure also, when done in the right way, also it helps people live more lively, because we need parks where people can play, children can play. We need places that parents can go with their children in the weekends to have a nice time with them. So those are the things that the government needs to look to. It's not about satisfying a particular group of people. No, you are there for the whole of Gambia. You are there for Gambians. You are there for the one who was born yesterday, for the one who was born day before yesterday, someone who is prepared to be born tomorrow. You understand? You have to set all those things. You have to make things more affordable. You have to create some kind of system that everybody and everyone in the Gambia will have access to everything that he or she needs to have access to.
right. These are very important things. Again, I
Yeah,
just wanted to comment on the situation, but because many people are asking why do IEC need long time and things of the sort, because to my feeling, they want to do everything correctly. They are trying to do their best. I mean, you always have winners and losers, as we say. Okay, Sam, you want to? Oh, who is that? Nyaga? Sam.
I'm hearing some background noise wherever that is coming from. Looks like there's more talks
A video,
coming.
right?
Yes,
From
something
me.
is playing. I'm not
From
sure
me.
what it is. Yeah, okay, it's coming. Yeah, okay, it's coming in here. So no, I just dropped a message that I will have to leave here in a little bit to go host my hometown call, and which
Okay.
starts at 1 o'clock, and I need to be able to pray before I get to that. Otherwise, I'll be on the call for another hour. So
Okay, pray for
anyway,
me.
So just say
so
your final
so
thoughts,
I'll say
Sam.
my final thing and really leave you guys to
Come on.
continue on it. But you know, at the end of the day, this is an important thing for our country. We all need to fight for democracy. We all need to fight for free and fair elections, and really, regardless of who is the president. And IEC need to understand that elections are in their hands. If they do the right thing, they can keep the country stable. If they do the wrong thing, they can create a chaos in our country. That's all IEC, just like any football game. If a referee mess up a football game, at the end of the game, after he blows that final whistle, some people will be ready to attack him. If the referee blows the final whistle at the end of the game,
Are you ready to attack them?
and mess up, made wrong calls in a game and cause the other team to lose, they will be talking about that. There's going to be, it just always create a chaos. So the best thing is, as a referee, be fair to the best of your ability, and understand, especially in the IEC situation, IEC need to understand that even, for example, they should never be afraid to really announce the correct result, even if it means the incumbent loses and is going. Well, keep in mind, IEC need to keep in mind, if an incumbent lose the election, and there's nothing they can do to them because they are leaving. They're going to go. The president that's going to go cannot fire you. Even if they fire you for telling the truth, the whole Gambia, the whole country will rally behind them, and the next president can make them come back. You know, they need to understand that they are free. They should be free. There should never be any intimidation or of anything for them to do their job. Every IEC rep need to understand that. They need to do their job and announce the correct results. That's what their job is for. If they mess up the election, they may not come back. So it's best for them to do the right thing, because if they don't, they may not be coming back. So that's important, and Gambian people are going to be watching this. The whole international community are watching this. We have all countries that we have diplomatic ties with, all of their representatives, their ambassadors, or high commissioners from all these countries are in the country. They are in Gambia. We have international observers in there. They know what is happening. They understand what is happening. They know what is fair and what is not fair. So IEC really just need to be straightforward and announce the correct results, and don't cause any delay in this. Just do the right thing. Double check your numbers. Make sure you cross check what was signed by all polling agents from every polling station is exactly what you're going to announce, because you have 5 or 6 or 7, at least, well, let's say 6 political parties, all right, 6 candidates. Every candidate had a representative there. If you have all 6 of them said, yes, this is what the president got, this is what this candidate got, this is what this candidate got, all candidates are listed there with the number of votes they got, and they all agreed to that and signed that. They've taken a picture of that and sent it to their representative. IEC need to understand that Gambians are not fools. We are very smart people. You know, we're very smart people, and we're going to find that out. If they announce the wrong thing, it'll be find out. All I want is, and all I support is the truth. I don't support anything that's false. I don't support anything. I'm not supporting any individual. All I'm supporting is, I want the truth. I want Gambia's, choice, the people's choice. The people voted. So the person that had the majority vote should be announced the winner. That's it. That's all I want to say. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sam.
thank you, Sam. But I think the IEC is trying, and sometimes I don't know, because they try to secure this election very well. And as you said, we have our international partners are also here. You know, they are observing everything, and we should not always criticize IEC. IEC did also good work. 2016. You know, who will be brave to say Jame lost the election? You know, so we should not all forget that. You know, I mean, we have to give Alaji Mamanja also credit for that. And
Exactly.
and people, I mean, we all have interest on how to call it wishes, but you know, it will be very foolish when I send Mr. Sawane to be at my polling station to represent me. So later, Sawane send me the results, and then Alaji Momar Njai, say that, then I should not complain because I sent you to be my. Then the question is, were your eyes closed or were you not there by the
Or are you
counting?
sleeping?
Where are you sleeping? Then we should not always point finger to the IEC, but then the representative you believe in and send him to do his job.
Exactly.
So, and this person should also say the right words and the right numbers before
And then
it comes to confusion.
just to make sure that those polling stations, just to add to that, they have a representative from all these parties.
I know that. That's why I'm giving this example.
Each and everyone's number, and that they know how much that polling station is supposed to have.
That's why I'm giving this example.
So why don't you tally it and say, gee, if you add all our numbers, it's more than what this polling station is supposed to be registered voters here. All that information should be by the people at the polling station, and then they can send an alarm.
When they discover that, and then say
exactly
that to IEC, IEC will not announce it. Because the Alaji Momanjai is not in the phones or everything. He's just sitting there. They give him this paper because the people report from the polling station.
Exactly.
So then he'll collect that and announce it, and then to the journalists, and they put it in their computer. So whether, I mean, we are all human beings. Maybe IEC, they even got the wrong information number on the phone, and then wrote. You know, because mistakes can also be somewhere, you know. So we cannot just say this man is, it was correct what they did or it was wrong. I just want to be neutral in this case. But I'm just saying that IEC are even taking their time. That's why the election this time, the counting takes time because they are doing spot counting. You understand? To make sure that everything is clear, whether you lose or you win, to save themselves also. And our international partners are also there. With we have a lot of observers. You know, everywhere you see the ECOWAS observers, the EU, the UN. You know, just to make sure that we do everything peacefully. I mean, there can be a mistake somewhere, but we are dealing with law, and we have to live with the law. When I as a party, opposition or borough, complain, oh, here is something which I'm not satisfied, or I think this can be looked again. We are having the law, use it. It's our tool. Do it. You know, and it's everybody's right. Everybody's right. If you feel that this is not correct like this, say it and let them prove it. And you yourself should also have a proof, because I cannot just say this is not fair and nothing in my hand. That is useless and waste of time. We all wish to win, and we wish to have right, but we have to be vigilant in certain things, you know. When I cannot just say that I lose or I win without ground or nothing to show, because the law is also for evidence there. Once you have the evidence, it's every Gambian right. We go to the courts, the law is there, according to our Election Act, and try to fight it peacefully. That's why we have the law. And that's why we have the election and the election act and the laws. So it's easy. If you are not satisfied, which I am not going to be as a loser, or I can always find something, and then I try to say, okay, and let it be clear. But don't go to the courts. I would advise everybody, just because we all have that wish, just go like that empty-handed. You cannot show anything. That can cost you a lot of money.
Exactly.
That's not just my advice.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. But if not, I'm very happy that everybody is taking it, as Njaga said, very, very peacefully, and then that's it. We are all Gambians. We are all the same. We are, even if we have different parties. At the end of the day, we are all from one boat.
Exactly.
Yeah, one person. One people, one family.
Together we come back and then look at the country and then move it forward. Yeah.
That's it.
Njaga, any final words before we wrap up?
In Wolof.
Yeah, you can say in Wolof. Yeah.
Yeah. Comme mbokk yi comme niñ ko waxee woon rek. Waaw comme dañ fee dellu si waat fii rek di wax ci suñu affaire élection si. Comme ni ma ko doon waxee rek ci kàllaama nasaraan maanaam di sant yàlla rek comme que élection si dugg nañ ci ba génn si nii. Duga nañ ci bismillah génn ñu ngi ci waaj a génn ci alhamdulillah sant yàlla duga nañ ci ba génn ci fu mu nekk ni jàmm mu ngi am te jàmm moom ci la lépp xaj te lii bokk na ci tolluwaay yoo xam ne day gën a dëgëral suñu démocratie ba pare day gën a dëgëral maanaam ci loo xam ne tey dina tax suñu réew mi jëm ci kanam comme que ñu ngi xaarandi di xool kan moo wiin ak ku wiinul waaye lu ñuy def rek mooy ngàcca ngàllama nguur gi ci jàmm ji ba pare ak nit ñi tamit ba pare ak sécurité personnel bi ci jàmm bu ñu fexe ba ñu maintain ko ci suñu dëkk bi li ñuy wax daal liñ ciy teg daal mooy képp koo xam ne daal tey nit ñi maanaam yow lañ votel ba nga nekk président bi daal ñu lay ñaan daal maanaam pour nga gëstu nit ñi ak askan mi ni ñu sonnee ci naaj bi ci poussière bi ci këriñ karang yi dañu jël la fal la nga la boo demee bu leen fàtte waaw bari na nag ñun moom suñuy président ni buñ demee rek dañuy fàtte ñoo xam ne ñoo leen fa nekkaloon ci naaj bi te dégg naa wolof dinaa nit ki bu la nekkalee ci naaj bi danga koy nekkal ci kër gi kon nag ngir yàlla ñu ngi leen di ñaan boo leen fa delloo ngeen fàttaliku ñu leen nekkaloon ci naaj bi ba teg leen foofu noonu bu leen dem rek seetaan leen Gambia bari na ñuy dem di tëdda ak xiif bari na ñuy tëdda ak mar bari ñoo xam ne amuñu fu ñu fanaan te loolu bari na de waaw te buñ naan wax ne bari na sax mun nañoo wax ne ëpp na genn wàllu Gambien yoo xam ne ñu ngi dunda ci loo xam ne maanaam ci kii la maanaam ci dunda boo xam ne la daal yàlla rek a xam ci dunda boo ab ñàkk la ba Gambia bari na ñu ñàkk ñoo xam ne tey maanaam suñu añee duñu ndéewu wala bu ñu ndéewoo duñu reer te loolu yëpp kenn teguñu ko lu jëw suñu government yi ñoo xam ne dañuy jël xaalis bi ñu téeméer wala jël séddoo ko ñu koy séddoo seen biir ñoom juróom wala ñoom fukk su boobaa nit ñi dañuy gën a sonna nit ñi nag politiciens yi war nañoo bàyyi seen xel ne àdduna dafa jeex te ëllëg daf ciy baax ñu leen di fàttali ne ñun suñuy ku muntu doon nga nekk borom kër nga nekk yàlla def la nga nekk président yàlla suñu borom dina la laaj naka nga sàmmee woon ñu la dénkoon kon nag ku si nekk war ngaa mun a bàyyi xel ci loolu noonu ñu ñaan yàlla nag jàmm continue ci Gambia ku wiin nga fàttaliku ñi la fa teg ba pare ku ñoo xam ne yàlla def na nag wiinuloo nga gëm yàlla nag jéem a traité neneen jàmm am ci réew mi ñu ñëpp delluwaat ci suñuy activité waaw loolu laa am pour mooy wax fa naaw
jërëjëf Alas
Njaga, thank you very much. Yeah, final words. I'll just say that let us see the final results, and then good or bad, we have to accept. And if any opposition party don't accept or see that here is evidence to claim something, then let them do it peacefully. That's why we have the courts. It's my advice anyway, not to create any noise or problems somewhere. I know that the people are very sensitive in such a matter, but still, we always have to think of one. It's the life of our own families, and Everything you see here, whether it's election or the whole life, people are living, and so one need to always know that it's going to be one day in the past. We're going to leave everything here, whether you have more or less. So from that point of view, we have to take everything easy and know that we are just here visitors, and then don't kill yourself because of life. It's my advice, and we try to, but definitely, I mean, I would not say IEC is perfect because they are human beings, not robots working there. On the communication from representative to IEC, they are also human beings. There can also be something missing or something like that because they are human beings. Even the counters are human beings. So, and we human beings are not perfect. There can always be somewhere. But if I as opposition, see that and think that it's important for me to claim by the IEC, why not? It's everybody's right, every Gambian right to do that. But I'm just here saying peacefully, and let it be cleared also peacefully. If they are right, the judge can still decide what to do. As you said, Mr. Sawani, there will be another election again, and so these are things that's the job of the lawyer or a judge or something like that. What needs to be handed over, and know that we cannot force anything ourselves. We cannot take the law in our hands. So through that, I advise everybody so that we stay and continue living in peace. As I just praised here, we have a very peaceful and election, and so the whole world is watching. And then because of maybe certain mistakes, we should not try to make everything the opposite, So I think one need to just think from that end. That's my advice anyway. And as Njaga said here, whoever is ruling should also think of the youths and then the women, I used to say, because they are the biggest percentage from the participation here. That means they have something in their heart, and but I think if he's going to continue, then take that seriously, because they will not just participate like that. They have something to say, It's a cry. So I hope that it will be better for them too.
Exactly.
Yeah, because most of them they left everything and just running up and down. I could see it, and so, and even the election, you can see the voters, the young age, and so they need something. They need something to change somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Sawani. Then I think
Thank you.
I'm going to leave also because Jaga is gone, and I'm having here also a lot of messages I want to answer quickly.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alas.
We can close from here.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
we'll see
you,
on
our
Sunday
viewers.
then.
We hope everybody a wonderful next 5 years will ever emerge as a winner. Again, we are here to sensitize our people and share information and to put Gambia first. Whoever comes to power, we're gonna be, discussing issues as it comes or as we see it, and make sure that our voice are heard and people's voice are heard. So thank you so much, our viewers.
Thank you, Mr.
And we stay
Sawani.
tuned next week. Thank you,
Okay,
Alas.
take care, America. Bye.
Thank you. All right, Germany. Thank you.